dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, it's 5 o'clock. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Wednesday. It's hump day, halfway through the week, so looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. The weekend's just ahead of us, a lot closer than we were, obviously, on Monday. But yesterday was really cold. I mean, when I was out shooting my story, and my hands were hurting because it was so cold. So let's go check in with Brandon, see if, Brandon, are you going to bring any warmer temperatures to us today?
A little bit. Not too much warmer. We'll have to wait till we almost get to the weekend before we get to some decent warmth for this time of the year. But as we take a look across the region this morning on the camera network, a little bit of fog trying to build in some spots outside the WYMT studios in Hazard. You can see kind of off in the distance there trying to form over Whitesburg. No major issues this morning as we head out the door. But you see on live pinpoint Doppler radar, pretty quiet for now, but we could see a little bit of drizzle or some snowflakes this morning. So just be aware of that as you head out. Nothing major expected. Looking at temperatures close to 30 right around the region. A couple of cooler spots there, Logan and Wise at 28. Everybody else right there 32, 33 or below. And you see when you factor in the wind chill, the feels like temperature feels like the mid-20s in a lot of locations. So a little bit of wind this morning. So I'll keep the coffee meter on a little extra as you head out the door on this Wednesday. So bundle up, make sure you're warm and good, and get you a good cup of coffee and then stay warm there. We'll see temperatures right around 41 this afternoon. And again, that drizzle and flakes possible. But cloudy skies, the big story all day, but a couple of degrees warmer than it was yesterday. The rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
New this morning, a man is dead and a suspect is on the run after a shooting at a Knox County gas station.
That's right. It happened just after midnight at the A&B Quick Stop on US 25 East in the Gray community. Kentucky State Police tell us a man walked into the store and pointed a gun at the clerk. 25-year-old Gary Medlin tried to run out of the store. That's when he was shot and killed. This is a picture of the scene. Right now, troopers say that they have not identified the suspect, but when he entered the store, he was wearing a gray hoodie, black pants, and tan boots. If you have any information that may help, you are asked to give Kentucky State Police Post 10 a call at 606-573-3131. Of course, we will continue to update the story throughout the morning as we learn more both on air and online.
Well, now just to the south of Knox County and Bell County, that's where a man is dead after an apartment fire. Happened
early yesterday morning in Middlesboro. Investigators tell us they found 28-year-old Trey Branscombe inside. He was taken to the hospital where he later died.
WYMT's Justin Case went to Middlesboro to talk with officials as well as a close friend of Branscombe who say he made everyone feel like family.
Early Tuesday morning, firefighters were called to this building. The fire chief says his team went inside right away and found Trey Branscombe. Friends say his love knew no bounds.
He loved everybody even if they didn't love him, and I've heard that so much from him. He would talk about how he cared so much for people that it didn't seem like he got the care back, and he just doesn't know how much he was really loved and cared about.
Officials at the scene say Branscombe died on the way to the hospital on this day of loss. Friends can't help but remember his caring side.
I have a little bit of PTSD, so I'm sound sensitive. And I remember going to Crystal and telling him that it was going to scare me when they started talking to me. And as soon as I got on the intercom, I jumped, and I had to have him order everything. And I'd say we had piles of food that he had to order for me. So he was just funny, and he didn't care to help out.
While the cause of the fire is still being investigated, officials believe it could have started inside his apartment. Those who knew him but were not related still feel like they've lost a family member.
If there was any time that I needed him, he was right there all the time. I'd invite him over to eat with us. He just literally became a part of the family.
Officials will not say if they suspect foul play. They say an autopsy should answer any unanswered questions.
That just gives us definite answers on, for sure, if something might have been wrong with him before the fire, or if something could have happened to him, or if someone could have done something to him. That just hopefully give us some answers.
Remembering a man who many considered family.
Now, fire officials say 2 others were inside the apartment building during the fire. They were able to get out safely before smoke filled the building.
In other news on this Wednesday, money woes plague the Martin County Sheriff's Department. Right now, there are only 2 paid deputies, and office hours are also being cut. Sheriff John Kirk tells us right now they are basically running on donations. In a Facebook post, he explained that he just simply cannot run the office with no money. Newly elected Judge Executive Bill Davis says the Sheriff's Department is not the only office without money, and he hopes he can sort out the issue soon.
Not only does the Sheriff's Department not have any money, as you know they have indicated, the fiscal court doesn't have very much money either.
In Sheriff John Kirk's Facebook post, he says that the department is currently taking donations. If you would like to donate, you can call 606-298-2828.
2 people are caught inside a school bathroom allegedly doing drugs. Now they are behind bars. Perry County Sheriff Joe Ingles says on Monday a deputy found 2 women inside a bathroom stall at Leatherwood Elementary. They say 52-year-old Lisa Whitworth and 44-year-old Wanda Hubbard appeared to be under the influence. Both women allegedly had a yellow substance in their nose and admitted they recently snorted a controlled substance. Whitworth and Hubbard were arrested and taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail.
In Laurel County, a man is arrested for allegedly driving under the influence. This is Matthew Dale. Deputies say they saw Dale recklessly pull out from the shoulder of a roadway. After stopping his truck, they say they could smell alcohol. And after checking the license tag, deputies realized that the truck he was driving was reported stolen. A stolen gun was found inside as well. Deputies say Dale admitted to having 6 shots of whiskey before driving.
Deputies in Harlan County arrested a high school student Monday. They say the student made a threat but did not specify what the threat was. A 15-year-old was arrested and charged with second-degree terroristic threatening. They were taken to the Breathitt County Juvenile Detention Center.
Changing gears a bit on this Wednesday, it was a messy morning for many drivers in eastern Kentucky yesterday. A constant drizzle and below freezing temperatures caused black ice in some places. Several crashes were reported in Knott and Letcher counties. One crash involved an ambulance that was transporting 3 people on Kentucky 15. Another crash happened along Kentucky 160 near Carr Creek Elementary. A man was flown to the hospital after that crash. Drivers say the bridges were especially dangerous.
When you got to the bridge, it was a different story. It was solid sheet ice. When I pulled up on the bridge, I hit the brakes on the wrecker and it started sliding.
Now, we are told all the people involved in those crashes thankfully do not have life-threatening injuries.
Well, rescuers race against time to rescue a horse from a cold river. The horse named Katie was found yesterday in the Red River. That's in Powell County. Crews say she was there for at least an hour before she was rescued. Katie is expected to be okay. Another horse is credited for seeing that Katie was in trouble and alerting the landowners.
Pension talks resume in Frankfort. A public pensions working group is now tasked with fixing the state's troubled pension system. During their first meeting, the bipartisan group looked back at how the Bluegrass ended up with around $40 billion in unfunded liabilities. They say the first step to finding an answer is to find out what exactly went wrong. Now the group hopes that they can find a solution to help more than 500,000 people in the state's pension systems.
We've got to agree on a common set of numbers. We can argue about the solution, but we have to agree on a common set of numbers so we can argue about the solution going forward.
We want to be included in that conversation. We want to continue to be the best public workers for our state and our communities.
The group plans to meet as often as possible during the regular session. Once that ends, they are authorized to meet once a month.
Well, sticking with the politics theme in the Commonwealth, a well-known Republican is thinking about jumping into Kentucky's governor's race. Congressman James Comer says a lot of people have encouraged him to run. Comer narrowly lost to current Governor Matt Bevin in 2015. As of now, Comer says he will only run if Bevin is out. He says he has even picked a running mate, though he is not saying who and has the paperwork ready to be filed.
A Kentucky man accused of a hate crime for killing 2 people outside of a grocery store was in court again yesterday. 51-year-old Gregory Bush appeared before a judge for his first pretrial conference. Bush is facing 2 murder charges and 10 wanton endangerment charges. He's accused of shooting Maurice Stalliard and Vicki Lee Jones at a Kroger store last fall. Both victims were black and Bush is white. He's also facing hate crime charges in federal court. That's because witnesses say Bush said, quote, "Whites don't kill whites," moments after the crime. He could face life in prison or the death penalty if convicted on those hate crime charges.
In 2017, a Tennessee school teacher took a teenage girl across state lines and had a sexual relationship with her. Now, prosecutors want him to spend 30 years in prison. Multiple news outlets in Tennessee say that Tad Cummins is scheduled to be sentenced today in federal court. He pleaded guilty last April to transporting a minor across state lines for the purpose of criminal sexual activity and obstruction of justice. Police found Cummins with 15-year-old Elizabeth Thomas in California.
Well, back in eastern Kentucky now, Pike County's Department of Protection and Permanency is working on a plan for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Every April, the group puts on multiple countywide events to spread awareness. They do everything from pinwheel fundraisers to a 5K. One of the organizers, Kendra Hensley, says this year they want to make it all about children and their families.
It's protecting our children, making sure they're safe, and making sure they understand that they can come to us. So we wanted to start this more this year towards involving families and involving the whole community.
Hensley says anyone is welcome to attend their meetings. The group plans to meet again on February 19th.
The battle to allow teachers to carry guns in Lee County, Virginia continues. The school system has filed a lawsuit against the state for preventing the school board from implementing a plan. The lawsuit was filed yesterday. They are suing the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services and the Virginia Department of Public Safety and Homeland Security. Last year, Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring determined the school system's plan to let teachers carry firearms was illegal.
Well, students at Hazard High School now have reusable water bottles thanks to a grant through Perry Promise. The grant also provided 2 water bottle fill-up stations where students can easily refill their water bottles at school. Administrators and directors of the program say they are excited about the project and hope to cut back on plastic waste while also helping students drink more water.
So we got a grant from Perry Promise to get purified water and all these water bottles, which is basically just encouraging people to drink more water and stay away from less healthy drinks and stuff.
Perry Promise is a program through Berea College that provides youth in the community with services and support to help improve outcomes for students.
Well, more than 100 people came to the Southeastern Kentucky Rehabilitation Industries Job Fair in Middlesboro yesterday. SECRE held the job fair at Middlesboro City Hall. They were trying to fill positions for their new location. Applicants like Tommy Smith say they came out because of SECRE's reputation in hiring those with disabilities. The Middlesboro factory is set to open by the end of February. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a heat wave in Australia forces people to avoid the sun or spend their day by the water.
Plus, the Grammys pick a popular singer to host this year's show. We'll tell you more in your Eye on Entertainment report.
Another dreary day on tap across the mountains, but some big changes on the way later this week. I'll tell you about them in about 2.5 minutes.